Salutations, friends, and welcome to another episode of But Suddenly, the writing show where these five not-so-young miscreants stain their collective brains to write a semi-coherent story, each taking turns to add their individual magic to their own interpretation of where the narrative destination lies. So far, it went from a straightforward tale of several powered persons perplexed by their mutual peculiar predicament to a wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey journey through the nexus of possibility as we met the debonair and his astonishing assortment of anomalistic assistants. The Fantastic Five found themselves fastened in prison cells, where they encountered other people with another array of abnormal entities with gifts not unlike their own, till they found themselves met once again with Skimp and Arduous, who, through more ferocious means, tried to coerce our five into coming with them into the void. Not before I bravely murdered them. Yes, I, not the machine gun. So sit back and relax as the mustachioed Grandmaster himself regales us with the next link in the chain. Submitted for the approval of the But Suddenly Society, Suburge of Adam presents to you Episode 5.
Nice one.
A lot of alliteration in there.
Oh my God.
I enjoyed the,
Sounds like Luke.
Are you afraid of the dark?
Did you like it?
Yeah,
I'm
enjoyed
so
that.
glad you got that reference. I'm so glad.
I think we're just glad that Burgess still got his moustache as well.
I know.
Absolutely.
Luke's been writing this as we came on. It's the only explanation.
Remember when I was like, what were those guys called?
With or without a moustache.
Yeah, good shout.
So yeah, welcome back to But Suddenly.
Good to be back. Thank you, Iolo.
Semi sort of Christmas hiatus, I suppose.
I took it as directed at me, so thank you for having me. It's good to be here, always.
I'm looking forward to this one. This is script number 1 from Maestro Burge.
Yeah, it rounds off the group as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a full set now, isn't it? We've all had a little dab at the script.
Well, had a go.
It's gotten so wild in the very little time it's been going.
And now
You're
Burge.
thinking, like, we're in episode 60 now. We're in the middle of like the desert or whatever. It's like, no, this is the 5th.
Now Burge takes us to feudal Japan.
Well,
The event we've all been waiting for.
I've tried not to introduce too many new concepts. I've kind of like tried to stick with what you guys, because you all came up with such good ideas. So
Just exploring further what's gone before. That makes sense.
That's actually a genuine compliment. I feel that, Burge, because you know you're a real author, real one.
Actual published writer.
Yeah.
As opposed to me, who'd never written a script before. So mix of skill levels.
You literally were deep ended.
It was really good though. It was really.
yours was
good.
really good. Yeah.
It
It
was.
was brilliant. It was really good.
I really enjoyed doing that. Actually, it was a good.
It's something
Good
I've really
exercise.
been dwelling on. This whole concept of Ted, father, mother is like the direction he goes. I was like, that is such a good idea. That is such a like clever way of sort of like rationality. I love it.
Sort of determining his. Just to get further into that, do we need a bit of a recap with a transition?
Yes, please.
We need a sound of the transition. So ready when you guys are. Who wants to do the sound?
First one of the year.
The first one of the
Let's do it.
2022
Let's do it
first.
simultaneously.
Simultaneous
Everyone do it,
transition.
okay.
Let's do it.
3, 2, 1. It just disappeared. Normally there's like a swipe across, but no, that time it just disappeared. Yeah, recap. We've got a decent chunk now. We had 5.
I mean, Luke touched on it quite nicely, didn't he? Sort of. Well,
Yeah.
sorry, Luke. I did through Luke's words. Touched quite nicely on the sort of general layout of how things have gone. Yeah, it was a 5. How do you describe them, Yola? The intrepid heroes. Yeah.
Useless heroes with some somewhat useless powers thus far, I believe. We've got Ramon with the power of smell, who I've been playing. Phil
Like, because
has been playing-
he can create smells, not just like
He's got the power
he
of
can
smell.
smell.
Yes.
We've all got the power of smelling.
He's like Daredevil, but he's only got the one sense.
Dead.
He maps out a room with his smell.
Yeah, no, he can create smells, and he's got a dubious Mexican accent sometimes.
Don't sell yourself short, Iolo. He's got all the lingo.
Yeah,
I suppose that's the other thing with But Suddenly, isn't it? We're all kind of doing different characters as written in the scripts, and occasionally with bad accents. Or I say bad. It's not fair. And Adam's excellent Derek Okora last time out.
You know what? On listening back, I was all right with it.
Genuinely, I thought you did brilliant because I think you had the biggest variety in voices last time out, and I thought you handled it very well.
Thank you. Yeah. I think I rose to the challenge.
The funniest thing to me on watching the last episode was Ramon, the Mexican character, dealing with British gangsters in Atlantic City.
The funny thing is, they weren't British when I wrote them, but they were British when I did the first line of dialogue out loud. I think that's the other thing with this program. It's like kind of we're all going in blind, so we don't know what Burge has written tonight. So we're going to have to like come up with accents on the cuff of its new character, unless it's sort of stated in the script, and we have to kind of roll with it a bit.
I feel like it's going to be stated in the script.
There's only, well, I don't want to say really anything about it. There's only a couple of new characters. So, yeah, Yola just
Good luck.
No.
look forward to.
Oh no. Oh no. That's
I really enjoyed last time when Phil just dropped Adam in it. Like he was like, "Get ready for an accent that you've done before." It's like, what is going to happen?
Yeah, it was so weird. I've heard you do it before. Oh, what's the kind of an intro is that?
It was like the voice riddle you had at the start.
Sort of here for.
Should we go through the other characters just quickly? The other like 5.
Yeah, so we kind of established this concept of the 5, didn't we? So Adam had the 5 heroes, and then Yola dug down into that with the debonair hunting down the 5 essentially. So the 5 were, as Yola mentioned, Ramon, played by Yola, who has the ability to create smells, and then there's Ted, played by me, who is an African American chap. Yeah, and smells. So African American chap who seems to age up or age down accordingly. And we kind of touched on it last week with my script that he might have developed control of that somewhat now, so he can age up and age down. And then Burge, who have you got?
So Ellie, who has a kind of ghost, can summon ghosts, or we're not entirely sure exactly.
They're to be interpreted, I guess.
She's ghost.
She's really good at ghosting people.
Phil, you lost your camera for some reason, mate.
Oh, sorry. Not sure why.
But yeah, so we've not drilled down into her kind of powers yet, though Phil sort of went into that in the backstory heavy episode last time, which was good. And then Luke's character Zeep.
Zeep with the power of photosynthesis.
In that he can synthesize photos.
from the ether, yeah.
That was your.
But they're unreliable. They can be the future. They could be something that's useful. They could be something that's completely nonsensical.
Yeah, it is brilliant. It's genius. I love it.
And
Thanks,
then,
Mike. There you go. Sorry about that.
And then we had Aaron as well, who.
Yes, we had Aaron.
Past tense.
Phil was ballsy in doing that.
It's good. Making some big calls. I like it.
Who's Adam's new member of the 5 then? Didn't he play someone else that is like the kind of replacement for Aaron?
I think it was Derek Okora, Yola. That's who it was.
Did he member of the 5?
Derek Okora.
No, I don't think. From memory, no, I don't remember a replacement.
We had a man with a fist, some sort of giant.
That was Donald. He also got killed.
Donald.
Yeah, he was
got
dead.
killed.
As played by me. So in Luke's script, episode 3, we had the idea that the guys at the lab where these guys were taken to in the first episode maybe had like counterparts or people that might have come before who were perhaps attempted to be the 5, but maybe nothing came of it. And there was 5 separate people with abilities. So Luke, who did we have? We had Donald, as we mentioned, who had some sort of power fist.
Yeah, we had
Billy or
Tree
Willie.
Yeah, Bill. I think it was Bill. Bill.
Willie.
He was the tree beard type guy.
Old vine man.
Who was made purely out of vines, and then there was I don't even remember the names.
There was Garth, who seemed to like.
Garth was like the creepy water.
Yeah, he seemed to like burrow himself into people's minds.
Yeah.
And then
he creates like a mind bond.
It was the southern woman
Cindy.
as well.
Was it Cindy? We didn't. She just seemed to be upset that her dog had died, or she wouldn't.
Yeah, she didn't. I didn't designate her any powers because I thought I enjoyed what Adam did for me. Essentially, was left open the door that to alter them for the story.
And then Adam, did you have an extra?
Yeah, he had the werewolf. He had the werewolf boy who sung fantastically. Iolo, you let yourself down.
Don't make me sing stuff.
So the last couple of minutes,
is nothing.
The last couple of minutes to recap should sort of give a sense of the kind of crazy directions we've already gone in, and we've only had one pass each.
We might even mention the alternate timeline, but I think that's enough for now.
I need to say that Iolo set up the concept of a villain known as the Debonair, who seems to have control over time in some way, and he seems to be the arch nemesis of Dr. L, played excellently by Burge.
We remiss to mention Arduous and Skimp.
Yeah.
Who are like conduits of the Debonair, aren't they? Who seem to be observing the day as we first saw it. And it's them that
Luke and Adam played them excellently. I was so happy to see him come back in the last episode. I was like, this must be how it feels.
Do you know what? Just on a quick note, I have to draw parallels with Dr. L and Professor X. I don't know if anybody noticed that yet.
Well, Arduous and Skimp are essentially the henchmen from Venture Brothers, as Luke will know.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell. Philip, you know Venture Brothers?
But
I've only dabbled.
But played much better as like a surfer dude. I think it was like Surfer Dumbass was the instruction, and Nerd
C-3PO.
Voice. Yeah, C-3PO, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, if R2D2 could speak English, he'd sound like a surfer dude. So it's the perfect pairing, really.
It is. They are the stars of the show in my mind.
So I haven't put in too many instructions as to like the characterizations, because I think most of the characters are the same. We're already
as established, I guess.
So you should just, if you see those names come up, then just that's the voice you do. There is obviously a couple of instructions, Iolo.
Iolo.
There's a couple of things as well before we start.
One. Before I disappear and grab a dressing gown.
There's a bit where you'll see the character name or characters, and it'll say in brackets all, meaning all of us, rather than just one of us. So at that point, just start reading the dialogue, all of us at the same time.
Okay.
So it might sound really, really weird, but it might sound kind of cool on the stream.
Okay.
We had some of that with the Debonair, with all of his like a gaggle of friends who tried to do things, but it ended up being great.
That was great. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, good.
We should probably establish the fact that there was a character called this whole feudal Japan joke is that there was a character, I believe, that we determined was called Dale, that was banished.
Clyde.
Yeah, Clive. Sorry, he was banished to feudal Japan by the Debonair, and that was the last we heard from him. So there's the running joke is that eventually we're going to go to feudal Japan.
I quite like that though, because it kind of established that the Debonair has like the power to just access any point in time, which gives us a lot of flexibility with future scripts, I guess.
Yeah.
Hence why Arduous and Skimp are able to observe the original 5 sort of thing.
Yeah.
So.
And then just the briefest of lead-ins to this episode. The Skimp and Arduous turned up at the very end of the last script into the facility where Dr. L and the Colonel and the 5 were. And they opened up they brought down a turret which killed Aaron and Donald, and then they opened up another portal and Ramon, Ted, and Ellie were about to step through the portal. So I've included that at the start of this script, so you'll see.
Ground us where we are. Cool.
Yeah, but that's kind of where we left off. Oh, and also one more thing. Partway through the script, you'll see when I've marked it. But Yola, you have to read some scene descriptions if that's all right, just because there's some like stuff, some dialogue stuff that I'm doing, and I don't want to have to like. Everyone has to sit through about a minute of,
that's fair enough.
That's fair.
Now it's Burge time.
Exactly the issue I had last time. I'm not just going to read 4 pages of script. I sit here.
Need some extra pages. So,
Excellent. Right.
Cool.
On that, we should probably get to it, I imagine.
Let's do it.
So firstly, an episode title, Burge. Is this our first episode title?
No, Yola.
No, I think Yola had one. Yeah, I wanted one. I just couldn't think of anything, so I'm not as creative as these two.
I was inspired by Yola's. I was like, yeah, episode title. I'm doing that.
I can't even remember what it was. I didn't remember. But yeah, I did that. I quite like the idea as well, though, because I think originally that I was going to have like a big sort of like thing saying what the episode title was at the start, which I could do easily. Luke, this is infuriating. The fact that your little mouse keyboardy thing is right there,
right next to yours.
just
I'm gonna follow you. I'm gonna follow you. I'm gonna follow you. I'm gonna follow you.
You can do what you like, my friend. Right, so I suppose we can get to the script. Who wants to do the transition sound? Phil,
you do.
I'll have a crack.
It disappears now. Like, I'm pretty sure it didn't used to disappear, but now it's just literally like so quick that it catches you in the middle of going. Excellent.
I'll work out the soundboard next time.
Love it.
And I suppose, Burge, take it away.
Okay, but suddenly episode 5, The Fox and the Spider. Interior facility hallway, night. Aaron and Donald run in tandem, one on the ceiling, one on the ground. Donald is swinging his arm, careful not to catch his comrade. They're inches away from the turret as it kicks into life. Target acquired. The turret launches a brutal volley from 2 barrels. It tears through Aaron and Donald, instantly stopping them in their tracks and ripping them to shreds. The barrels cool off, leaving nothing but a pool of viscera. Ted, Ramon, and Ellie stare on, shell-shocked. They turn to step inside into the purple portal, but suddenly, the Colonel's voice pierces through the hallway and stops the trio in their tracks. Arduous and Skimp spin around to face the Colonel.
Listen here, Tweedledum and Tweedlegiveashit. If you think you're leaving this facility, you're sadly mistaken.
The Colonel raises his arms, revealing a magnum in each hand. At the same time, the turret whirs back into life. It projects a green light which moves up and down the Colonel's body. Scanning for targets. At the portal's entrance, Skimp turns to Arduous and whispers.
Hey, do you think you're Tweedledum or Tweedlegiveashit?
Arduous throws up his arms in despair.
Why on earth would that matter? But obviously, your teed'll give a shit. You know what? Turret, just in this Corporal General guy.
The turret's barrels begin to spin into life once again, but before they've had a chance to fire, a loud gunshot rings out through the corridor and the turret explodes. Plumes of smoke fill the hallway. A gun can clearly be seen protruding out of the Colonel's back.
Now I'm going to give you to the count of fuck you to let them go. Ready? 1, fuck you.
Patience, Herr Colonel. As the smoke clears, Dr. L appears, a hand on the Colonel's shoulder. He seems completely unfazed by the intruders, or by the purple portal, or by the panicked looks on Ramon, Ted, and Ellie's face.
But Doctor, I've got the maggots right where I want them.
Skimp and Arduous exchange uncertain looks. Don't be so hard on our esteemed guests.
Yo, Doc, you gonna just let him take us? Oh, Phil's gone.
Oh, we might have lost Phil.
Sorry.
Yeah, maybe we lost Phil.
Still here all day.
Intermission.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
Seriously, I don't get you. Whose side are you on? Unless you want to pause and let me get my video back up. But...
Yeah, we can pause.
Oh, I have to put my other camera on because this has been weird.
Yeah, do that, mate. That's fine.
Sorry.
It's all good.
Wait, there we are.
Let's move over. Do.
Go.
Let's all go to the lobby. Thanks, Adam.
Do you
Let's go.
want to take that again?
So, Ramon from the top. Well, yeah, not Terrell from the top. Maybe.
Yo, Doc,
Okay.
you gonna just let us take us?
Seriously, I don't get you. Whose side are you on?
Dr. L looks down at the mutilated corpse of Aaron and prods it with his foot. He looks back up at the Colonel. Have you ever heard the fable of the fox and the spider? Skimp nudges Arduous in the ribs.
Dude, I think he's about to start monologuing.
Arduous nods and they both start backing slowly into the portal, gesturing subtly for Ramon, Ted and Ellie to go first. The Colonel growls as the intruders continue on into the portal. With a wild flash of purple light, it winks out of existence, leaving no trace. The Colonel clasps his head in his hands.
So, we're not going to address the fact that the intruders just escaped.
All in good time, Herr Colonel. But first, the fable begins with a greedy fox. External wasteland night. A barren plain lit by stark moonlight. Signs of warfare. Empty artillery shells, scorched earth, vultures plucking dead soldier flesh. A fox scares off the vultures. A fox so greedy it loses its focus. It's not German. I don't know why I put Herr Colonel instead. A glowing purple portal bursts into the wasteland, slicing the fox cleanly in two. Ramon, Ted, and Ellie stumble out of the portal and fall straight into a ditch. A moment later, Skimp and Arduous emerge calmly onto higher ground. Arduous looks around at their new surroundings, confused. He stares at the purple key in his hand.
Luke's in co-
Oh, I'm so sorry. Blasted thing.
He shakes the purple key frustratedly. Meanwhile, Skimp holds out his hand to help Ramon out of the ditch.
What's with your boss, dude? He's like totally freaky.
Ramon slaps his hand away and climbs out of the ditch himself.
No mames! You're not my combat man. I don't need your help.
He looks around him and then helps Ted and Ellie up.
Where the hell have you taken us?
Skimp surveys their bleak, moonlit surroundings, looks back at Ted, shrugs.
I don't know. Those portals are a hell of a trip, though.
Arduous looks away from the key and leans in close to Skimp's face, checks his eyes. Skimp's pupils are massive. This is Luke again.
I don't believe this. Are you high?
Skimp shrugs.
When did you even have the time?
Skimp holds up a sandwich bag absolutely stuffed full of shrooms, pills, tabs, powder, etc.
I always keep a snack pack on me.
Can you tell I've never done drugs? Shrooms, pills, tabs? I don't know.
I assumed it was legit.
Yeah, I'll have one heroin, please.
Arduous smacks the bag out of Skimp's hand, sighs, and then shifts his attention back to the key.
Never mind. Just help me work out what went wrong.
Meanwhile, Ramon, Ted, and Ellie huddle together. Ellie looks at the others expectantly. Well,
Well, what?
shouldn't we be, trying to escape?
From where? To where?
Yeah, that's loco, dog. You saw that turret? It's ripped Spider Freak to shreds.
Spider freak.
I don't even know if I want to go back to Dr. L. We were in holding cells, remember?
Yeah, but
But what? Either we're in a prison with Dr. Loco, or we're taken in by these two pandejos.
Ellie looks disheartened. Ted places a reassuring hand on her shoulder.
Let's just see where they take us. If things take a turn for the worse, we'll figure something out.
Enough chatter.
Arduous thrusts out the purple key and another portal appears. He gestures at the others.
That last one was just a blip. My calculations are never wrong. Now, step through and prepare to meet your new host.
The others look warily at each other before stepping into the portal. Internal bedchamber, Buckingham Palace, night. A large bedroom with the finest tapestries. Yellow, just be
cool, man.
A large bedroom with the finest tapestries and paintings adorning the walls. At one end of the room sits a large 4-poster bed. The portal appears across the room. Ramon, Ted, and Ellie walk out of it and into the bedchamber. They look around the dimly lit room. Skimp and Arduous emerge a moment later.
Whoa, man. You brought us to see the Queen? I misjudged you.
Gosh, I've always wanted to meet her.
Wait, have you been secretly working for the Queen this whole time? That's righteous, dude.
No. This isn't right.
Arduous shakes the purple key once again. Nothing happens. Skimp places a hand on Arduous's back.
Is the magic key still giving you trouble?
As I've told you 1,000 times, it's not magical. If you read past page 4 of the manual, you would know that portals work based on precise scientific calculations.
A rustling sound comes from the 4-poster bed. Shh.
Did she just fucking shush me?
Keep your voice down. I think there's something in here with us.
No, I won't keep my voice down. I don't take orders from captors, actually. I will speak as loudly as I want. La, 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 fucking la.
Ellie pulls at the sleeve of Ted's top. She points to a shadow moving behind the curtains of the 4-poster bed. Just to pause 1 second. Iolo, apparently your mic is quite quiet. I've had a little...
Oh, is it?
Little text from a watcher.
From a fairy.
Okay, maybe is that better? You can ask the watcher. Is that better? Because I've turned it up now on my OBS app.
They just said
it seems to be regularly reaching Iolo.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hi,
Strangers.
interwebs.
Okay, Ellie pulls at the sleeve of Ted's top. She points to a shadow moving behind the curtains of the 4-poster bed. What's that?
I don't know, but is that
a perm?
The shadow stops moving and suddenly tears apart the curtains, revealing the Queen in a nightie, curlers in her hair. She looks younger than the public images of her.
One has disturbed one's sleep.
We're very sorry, sorry. I'll let that land. Perfect. Yeah. We're very sorry, ma'am, or Your Majesty. It's actually been a dream of mine to meet you.
Ted goes to move closer, but the Queen stops him in his tracks.
One's penalty for disturbing one's sleep is imprisonment. One reserves an even stricter punishment for the ones who learn one's secret. One.
The others steal glances at each other, confused. After a few moments, Ted clears his throat and asks the obvious question.
What secret?
The Queen suddenly jumps into the air and lands on her claw-like feet onto Ted's shoulders. The skin on her cheeks begins to flake off, revealing green scales underneath. Her eyes turn the colour of burnt umber and her pupils narrow to a thin vertical strip. A forked tongue whips out of her mouth as she speaks.
This one! Gods!
Oh shit.
Guards dressed in Buckingham Palace uniforms storm into the room, hissing. Arduous, panicked, fumbles with the purple key and then thrusts it out in front of him. Ramon, Ellie and Skimp continue to stare at the Queen in shock.
Go through the portal, you dolts!
Arduous runs through the portal, followed by Skimp and Ellie. Ramon starts to run through, stops, sees Ted paralysed by fear and rugby tackles him through the portal, the Queen still perched atop his shoulders. The top of the portal connects with the Queen's neck and neatly bisects it. Her head drops to the floor and rolls into the room as the portal closes behind Ted. The lizard guards look awkwardly at each other. One walks over to the Queen's head and picks it up. 2 sets of eyelids slide apart and she sticks out her forked tongue.
It'll take months to grow one's body back, find out who ones were and kill ones. One.
Internal facility hallway, night. Dr. L and the Colonel continue to stand over Aaron's body in the hallway. A couple of assistants are sweeping the remains of Donald's body into a dustpan. They attempt to sweep Aaron's spidery corpse, but the Colonel waves them away.
He's not done with his fable yet.
Indeed not, Herr Colonel. You see, The fox wanted so much to steal the treasure from the spider's cave, but the cave was covered in sticky web.
Web, right.
It ducked under, dived over, threaded through the web until it reached the treasure.
And it took the treasure, just like that pair of vermin.
Yes,
So what's your point?
the point is what happens next. A voice sounds from behind them in the hallway. It's Zeep.
Excuse me, Dr. L? Captain Colonel General? Ouch.
I know. Couldn't resist. Dr. L gestures to Zeep with a knowing smile. The Colonel rolls his eyes, growls at Zeep.
Just Colonel is fine. What is it?
I think I might know where the others are. Well, where they'll be.
Zeep sheepishly pulls out a photograph. It shows Ramon, Ted, and Ellie outside a quaint Japanese village.
No.
Ellie is holding a purple key, and Ted is holding an orange one. Zeep hands the photo to the Colonel, who scans every inch of it.
I call it photosynthesis.
Yes, we know, Pet. Shall I consider my favourite?
There's songs on Dr. L this week. It's great. Oh, why not?
Oh my gosh.
Interior supermarket night. A nice supermarket with polished floors. The lights of the freezer section offer limited illumination. A purple portal appears in the middle of the frozen goods aisle. Arduous, Skimp, and Ellie run out, swiftly followed by Ted and Ramon, who file out of the portal onto the floor. The Queen's headless body drops from Ted's shoulders and slides along the polished floor. They hurriedly scooch away from it.
The fox runs away from the spider's cave as fast as it can.
Arduous thrusts his hands out again, creating yet another portal for them to pass through. Exterior, graveyard, night. A large, poorly kept graveyard filled with tombstones and tombs, overgrown grass and wilted flowers. The familiar purple portal materializes in the middle of the burial ground. The group steps through and Arduous shakes his fist in the air.
It runs through forests, through plains, through hamlets and villages, and it keeps running.
This time Arduous grabs the orange and purple key and thrusts them out at the same time, creating a purple portal rippling with a fiery orange glow. They all step through. Exterior, prehistoric plain, day. The portal appears in a plain teeming with plant life. The group emerge only to find a Tyrannosaurus Rex running straight at them. Arduous quickly creates another portal. They escape just before the T-Rex reaches them.
The fox believes it has outrun all danger.
Exterior, quaint Japanese village, day. A small village, several wooden houses, a stream connected to a water wheel. Cherry blossoms, cicadas chirping? Cicadas chirping, people working the land.
Cheers, Yella. When the fox finally finished running, it stopped to catch its breath, and that's when it felt its leg caught. The orange and purple portal rips through the air in the centre of the village, sending sparks flying. Arduous and Skimp step out, followed by the others.
Well, this is ridiculous. I'm doing everything right.
Maybe you need to chill out, dude. The stress can't be helping with the magic keys.
It's not magic. It's all based on science. Emotions have nothing to do with it.
While Arduous continues to discuss the keys with Skimp, Ellie signals for Ted and Ramon to huddle close by. You must think it's worth trying something now while they're distracted.
I'm in. I've been in since the Lizard Queen. They've got absolutely no idea what they're doing.
Ramon considers their situation.
All right, but what are these three of us going to do?
We need those keys.
We'll figure out what to do with them after.
Did you forget that we don't shoot lasers out of our eyes or anything? I make smells, amigos. Smells. Ted, you've got some Benjamin Button shit going on.
Ted looks disheartened, but nods to indicate that, yes, he does have some Benjamin Button shit going on. Ramon turns to address Ellie.
And no offense, but Ellie, your power is glowing purple. What the fuck are we supposed to do with that?
Ellie bristles at the insult, but chooses to ignore it. She signals for Ted and Ramon to come closer and whispers something in their ears. Meanwhile, Arduous is still shaking the keys to no effect.
Is shaking it in the manual?
Arduous ignores Skimp.
Because that seems weird if it's such a precise piece of equipment.
Arduous continues to ignore Skimp. It's increasingly difficult.
Also, maybe this is just me, but shouldn't we refer to the manual if you get stuck? I thought that was like the whole point of manuals.
A vein throbs on Arduous's forehead. He shakes the keys more and more frustratedly. Skimp reaches within his traffic cone vest and retrieves another bag stuffed with edibles. He grabs a handful. It's the final straw.
How many of those bags do you have?
Hey, pendejos! Something's happened to Ted.
Arduous and Skimp rush over to Ted. He's curled up like a ball. They immediately start gagging and cover their mouths as a deadly stench permeates the air.
Oh, God! What is that horrendous smell?
Love it if you actually just threw up. It's like, whoa.
That'll win the Oscar. Yeah.
Ramon grins wickedly.
I don't know, but it's doing something to Ted.
Skimp leans in closer to Ted and places a hand on his shoulder. Ted raises his head slowly. He is grotesquely old, skeletal. His limbs are the only thing distinguishing him from a prune. Skimp reels back in shock, grabs onto Arduous.
That's some Last Crusade shit. Gotta get out of here, dude. I can't get that old. Think of the tan. Think of the tan.
Help me!
Arduous bends over and heaves all over the ground. He tries to collect himself, but the smell and the state of Ted force him to vomit again. Skimp backs away from Arduous, unsure whether he's caught the affliction too.
We must be trespassing on an ancient burial site, man. I've heard about the curses and stuff like that.
Curses?
We should be alright as long as we don't see any ghosts.
Ghosts?
Yeah, man, like that.
Ramon points past Ted and Arduous where Ellie stands facing them. A large grey mist appears behind her, thickens into a cloud. Vague white silhouettes emerge from within the cloud and swirl around her head, before rushing outward and surrounding the others.
Holy shit! It's the army of the dead. She's the heir of the freak Isildur.
Within the cloud, Arduous whimpers on the ground. Ramon sprints forward and snatches the keys out of Arduous's hands. He runs to Ellie's side. He waves the keys in front of her eyes and grins. She beams.
A little help.
Ellie and Ramon look over to Ted, who is trying to hit himself, but is too weak to do so. His arms fall limply at his side. Ramon... This is a really stupid thing. Ramon runs forward and slides across the ground, thrusting his fist into Ted's stomach.
Falcon punch!
A middle-aged Ted clutches his stomach with one hand and lower back with the other. He slaps himself across the face a few times, removing his wrinkles.
Phew, 25. That's better.
Ramon, Ted, and Ellie look at the ghostly clouds around them. The vague silhouettes grow more and more distinct, gradually taking the shape of samurai.
Okay, you can call him off now, Ellie.
I'm trying. The samurai wears iron-plated armor, have a large katana at their side and a smaller dirk on their other side. The white mists disappear and reveal just how many ghosts Ellie has summoned. There are 47 of them.
You said you were going to summon a ghost. Singular.
I didn't mean to. Arduous and Skimp stand with their mouths wide open. The samurai look at each other and then around at their surroundings, and finally at Ramon, Ted, Ellie, Arduous, and Skimp. They all begin to speak at once.
Where
am I?
Who
Who
deserves
my master's court?
What's going
on?
Who are you?
Who are you?
My master,
will be avenged.
Why
am I transparent?
Oh,
Our
oh,
honor must be preserved.
From
From time to time, the clouds give rest to the moon beholders. I'm tired.
Ted nudges Ellie. Thanks, guys. Get ready for 2 more of those. Ted nudges Ellie. Ramon gestures to the Ronin ghosts.
I think you ought to say something.
Ellie steps forward, looks up nervously at the ghosts. Hi? The 47 Ronin turn to face Ellie, stony-faced. So, would you mind, going away now? We already got the keys, so... The 47 Ronin look at each other, embarrassed. They begin to move away, but there's an awkward pause as they realise they can't stray too far from Ellie. Some of them look at her as if to say, what the fuck? Arduous watches this and then shakes his head, rousing himself from a stupor. He wipes the sick from his chin.
This is going too far. Ghosts aren't real. You can't exist. It makes no logical sense.
As one, the ghosts turn to face Arduous. Again in unison, they withdraw their katana blades.
How
dare
the portly orange and white
man
dresses
speak to us honourably or not at all. I will
dash
through
your
your
flesh
flesh
with
with
my
my blade. I'm hungry.
Did
Did anyone pack lunch? Foolish traveler thinks us naught but ghosts.
You do look
quite
pale.
In the
In the
twilight
rain. These
brilliant
brilliant
huge
hibiscus.
I love
Lovely.
a lovely sunset.
I do.
Ted grabs Ellie's arm with urgency.
You better do something quick before those ghosts kill me.
Why do you care? That guy killed Spider Freak.
None of us knows what. None of us knows how to use these keys, except him. Unless you want to rely on the other guy.
Ted points at Skimp. He's standing motionless, muttering gibberish to himself while staring in horror at the ghosts. His pants are completely drenched in piss. The 47 Ronin bear down on Arduous, who cowers on the ground. Some raise katanas, the others raise dirks. They are about to strike Arduous when Ellie shouts, "Stop!" The ghosts stop in place for a second, and then set upon Arduous with zeal.
I'm sorry, I said ghosts weren't real. I'm sorry for being impatient with Skimp. I'm sorry I lied about enjoying Star Wars prequels.
The ghosts swing their katanas at Arduous, but the blades pass through him without leaving a mark. Obviously, they're ghosts. The Ronin check their blades, slash again, nothing. They check them again, shaking the katana in the air. This doesn't work either.
Oh.
Oh.
What? No.
No,
That's not right.
That's not right.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
What's going
What's
on?
going on?
Oh.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
It looks
In
like
the
a
Tiger's
history.
Sky, no sign of a tell. How soon it must die.
It must die. Thanks. That was the last one. Arduous looks up from his cowering position and notices the ghosts are distracted. He scurries along the ground on his hands and knees to where Skimp has stood. His hand squelches in the ground.
Why is the ground wet?
Sorry, dude.
Ellie steps forward to address the ghosts. Sorry for disturbing you. She raises her hands and concentrates. A light purple aura emanates from her body. Ellie counts as the 47 Ronin turn to her and bow before disappearing, one by one. However, there is one left over, a 48th Ronin. This one looks slightly different to the others, more fully formed. A mask covers his face.
Is it Keanu Reeves?
Ramon walks towards him.
It's Jeremy Renner. I'm going to be very upset.
Time to go, buddy. Back to wherever the fuck ghosts live.
The masked Ronin suddenly sweeps Ramon's legs out from under him. He turns to Ellie and Ted and knocks them both down to the ground. Ted ages about 10 years and grabs his lower back.
No, not my mid-30s.
Hashtag relatable. The mysterious figure then lurches forwards towards Arduous and Skimp, drawing a long, thin katana in the process. He points the sharp edge of the blade against Arduous's throat. A trickle of blood runs down Arduous's neck.
Dude, I don't think this one's a ghost.
I am aware.
The 48th Ronin removes his mask. He is the prison guard from the Debonair's prison complex.
Also,
My name is Clyde, and I need a word with your master.
Fucking Sean Bean.
He's like gained a cool voice since getting kicked out. I can't even remember how he sounds.
Do the job, Jake.
Interior, Debonair's office, indeterminate time. A lavish office space adorned with a variety of artifacts from across time. The Debonair sits behind his large mahogany desk in the centre of the room, wearing a red velvet gown. His entourage are listening attentively to him, the fear obvious in their eyes. The Debonair takes a large sip of wine. This clearly isn't his first.
Well, my bumbling code man, this is outrageous.
The Debonair smashes the wine glass on the ground. The entourage quickly pipes up in agreement.
Outrageous.
Unbelievable.
Preposterous.
Far-fetched.
No, not far-fetched. I mean, they should be back by now. Why must everyone who works for me be an incompetent fool?
There's an awkward pause while the entourage work out whether to answer him or not.
I think it's because
It was a rhetorical question, you imbecile.
The debonair slaps the mouth across the face, the muscle across the face. The others wince. The debonair turns to one side and talks as though he's alone.
I'm the ruler of all time and conqueror of almost the entire world, yet I continue to surround myself with yes men, morons, and hangers-on. Maybe it's time I shook things up a little. You four. Pick a number between 1 and 10.
The entourage exchanges cagey looks.
4.
7.
2.
Too slow.
9.
The debonair pulls out a high-tech gun from underneath his desk and shoots at the mouth. A wide arc of light flashes through the room and pierces through the mouth's body. The others turn away from the bright light, and when they turn back, the mouth has been turned into a chicken, only with his normal human head.
Anyone for another round?
The debonair stands up and prowls around the room. The remaining entourage all quickly look away, avoiding his gaze.
Thought not. Monitor, remind me why the cell housing the 5 was empty.
The monitor gulps.
It was the prison guard, Your Eminence.
So why isn't the guard here before me right now? Are you all so inept that you can't even capture someone who literally works for me?
The entourage glare at each other, none of them wanting to speak first. The debonair cuts a frosty stare at the mouth in his new chicken form.
Cat got your tongue, Clyde? Sorry, I hope that's not triggering. Because you're a chicken! I've got something to say back.
Oh, I love the debonair.
Yes, sire. Very good, sire. I believe you sent the guard to feudal Japan, sire.
Oh, damn. Yes, I vaguely remember something like that. Mind, give me something to say.
Oh, he had it coming to him. That ought to teach him a lesson. No one messes with the debonair.
No, that's all far too contrite. Pastiche, even. I'm not a fucking Bond villain. Take that.
The debonair slaps the mind hard across the cheek. Sorry,
I do love debonair slapping.
Sorry, Your Magnificence. How about, 'tis a shame he departed this mortal earth, but let, insert name here, be a beacon to those that would wrong me.
Ugh, overwritten tripe as usual. But he'll do. So, what was his name?
The others look around sketchily. The mouth absently pecks at the ground.
Guard? I think maybe he was just called Guard.
You think his name was Guard?
The others back away from the muscle, who desperately tries to catch their eyes.
It's just that we're called the muscle, the monitor, etc.
Come here.
The debonair stands to the side of the room and motions the muscle to walk towards it. The muscle worriedly moves closer.
Closer?
He steps closer still until he's inches from the debonair's face. The debonair whispers in his ear.
Cunt.
The muscle collapses to the ground, convulses with intense pain and dies. The debonair reaches inside his velvet gown and retrieves a golden pistol. He points it at the mind.
I need a pun. Now.
I guess he was only guarding... No, wait. Guarding a terrible... No, wait. Don't shoot me. I can get there.
Fucking hell.
The debonair fires the pistol, which leaves a bullet between the mind's eyes. He drops to the floor, dead. The debonair flicks his gaze to the monitor.
You, fetch me replacements.
The monitor quickly creates an orange and purple portal in the center of the room. He leaves and reappears through another portal a second later, along with a slightly younger-looking mind and muscle.
See, if he can do it, what's taking those bumbling co-men so long?
The debonair suddenly runs across the room and kicks the chicken version of the mouth, who smacks into a wall. He's about to sit back down at his desk when another orange and purple portal appears at the far side of the room. Cut 2. Interior facility hallway night. Dr. L and the Colonel are in the same position as earlier, standing over Aaron's corpse. The other gifted individuals, like Cindy, Bill, Garth, and Willie, are stood pressed against their cell doors, listening attentively to the end of Dr. L's fable. Zeep stands awkwardly nearby, keenly listening too. The only person not interested, and instead fully seething, is the Colonel. The greedy fox did not realize how extensive was the spider's web. He was caught before he ever set foot in the spider's cave.
Right. So you're going to tell me that this was all part of your plan? That the intruders have been caught in your web?
Exactly so.
Well, then where in the blue hell are they?
Dr. L smiles enigmatically and gestures to Zeep, who begins frantically rifling through a wad of photos. He tosses them to the side one by one.
I can't see them anywhere.
The Colonel grabs the neck of Zeep's top, pulls him close and bellows into his face.
Listen, Snappy Snaps, make it happen.
Zeep reaches up in front of the Colonel's face and snaps his fingers. Blue sparks erupt from his hand, followed by warm orange and pink hues. A Polaroid photo appears within his grasp, smoking at its edges.
Well, what do your Zeep eyes see?
The Polaroid remains grey. Zeep hits it against his palm a few times.
Takes a minute.
The Colonel growls as he waits for the image to emerge. Finally, the dullness fades and colour seeps into the photograph. Zeep's eyes widen.
Holy shit.
The Colonel and Dr. L crowd around Zeep in order to see what the photo reveals, when suddenly...
Oh, amazing. Thank you, mate.
Very, very well done, that mate. That was a lot. That was an absolute laugh. That was.
I almost died at least 3 times. It was so
Honestly.
good.
Oh,
Can we all, you know
was.
what, if anyone ever played the Debonair, there's only one person in the world that could possibly play him, and it's Matt Berry. There's no one else who can do the Debonair.
I love how
It's
slap
definitely who I
happy he
might
was.
start channeling, I think.
Oh
Honestly.
my god, I love him.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, Phil, it was absolutely perfect. Exactly,
Oh.
exactly what
It's
I
so
was
easy
hoping.
when it's written like that. It's on the page. That's amazing.
I thoroughly enjoy the idea that he just like casually kills them and he could just whip them out of existence, like literally just like
Disposable.
yep, new ones.
It kind of makes sense as well. Like they've not even got names. They're just like identified by
Yeah, the
their
mind and stuff.
role.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so
It makes me
disposable
laugh
to him.
so much. I honestly love the fact that he was a chicken and like the whole. Yes, Sire Buck. Very good, Sire Buck. I believe you said the dad to feel the pants, Sire Buck.
Brilliantly played by Luke as well to play.
That was
really
absolutely
good.
fantastically played, Luke. I have to say. Oh god, that was brilliant, mate. Good job.
So good, man.
Thoroughly
My-
enjoyable,
Raised the
that.
bar.
Around my eyes, it's like straining because of all the salt that's dried from crying.
Oh my
I
god.
know. See it, literally the same.
It was like a best of because literally like you like incorporated pretty much all the characters. There was like this absolutely brilliant motif of like the spider and the fox. I thoroughly enjoyed
Yeah,
that. The fact that that was like lining through
Through
it,
line.
and like the fact that you made full use of the fact that you could just jump anywhere in time to fight a lizard queen, which was great, and just went everywhere. It was absolutely brilliant, and we got full use of powers, which was great.
Oh, the Lizard
Yeah.
Queen, man. It's been such a busy episode.
Yeah, I was
so
going to
good.
say, it speaks a lot that I'd completely forgotten that the Queen was in it.
I know that wasn't even like the highlight. Lizard Queen was there.
They made it to feudal Japan. Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
Ruining
and we
that,
got
yeah,
to see
Clyde turning back up.
Clyde turning back up. There's 2 Clydes. I think we established that because I called the Muscle Clyde, and then Luke. It must have saved in Luke's head, and then we were like, "Oh, I don't even name the guard." And Luke went, "His name was Clyde." So we had 2 Clydes.
Yeah, the Queen. Well done, Iolo. That was really good. Sorry for dropping
No,
that.
that was great. I was really scared. I was like, "Oh, I can do a Queen voice." I was really like worried that it'd be like, "Oh, do you remember that character in that obscure Disney film?" I'm like, "Oh crap." But no.
I'm so glad you
that was all
brought Zeke back as well, because as Luke pointed out at the end of the last reading, that I'd kind of left him out of the final descriptions. So it's like he kind of stuck around in the lab.
Yeah,
Doctor
I thought you'd sort of put him to one side to.
Yeah,
to
I kind of
have a bit
assumed he'd
more
maybe
fun.
like snuck into a cell or whatever, or he'd kind of, because he
It's
wasn't with the
like-
3 who were.
His power is
portal
so useful and so good for this exact thing. You know, like this
Yeah.
exact show. His ability to just pull out photos is essentially like pulling out plot points, and it's the best thing ever for this thing.
It's our Deus Ex, isn't it? Our Deus
Yeah.
Ex.
I love
Yeah, I
the,
think between, like-
the comedy idea that he's like, yeah, just a second.
Yeah.
It takes like 30
Sector all
seconds.
attention as well.
So good.
Oh, it was.
I'd love to see it like in the middle of a battlefield. Everyone's like, "Where are the enemies?" You're just like, "Shh."
She's like that.
I enjoy doing the all thing. I'm curious to see how that sounds on the playback. Yeah.
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 I'm guessing there's a bit of desync on it. But it was,
I started out just reading it, and then I thought, like, I know I'm gonna start doing like voices and funny intonations and stuff. I was just like, doing all sorts.
Yeah, I thought I kind of like wrote it to be asynchronous, so that because I thought like that's the thing with us all having like slightly different levels of lag. We were never going to be like. I didn't want it to be like an eerie multi-voice thing. It was like there's 47 of them, and they're all like chatting like the same, asking the same shit.
It was really effective. It was really, really effective. I quite like that. And I really, so the one thing that I think has to, like, certain things have to be like sort of made like, oh, we have to do that again. And the one thing I really, really enjoyed was Phil's character Ted being like a commentary on age. So he's like, 25, that seems good. It was just like really funny to me that he's just like acutely aware of how old he is. Oh no, not mid-30s. I really enjoy that. Oh god, like he can like be in the terrible teens at some point or something. It's really fun.
How did you find writing it,
fantastic.
How did I find writing it?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. I mean, I had a bit longer than most of you, I think, because of the Christmas break. So yeah, I benefited from that because I got up to Wednesday when we were originally going to stream, and then and I hadn't got any of the stuff with the debonair in, and I was like, no, I kind of want that because I really wanted to build on all the like cool ideas that you guys had already contributed. So I was like, I need to get the debonair in. So I was so glad that I had like the weekend to add to it and build on that. So yeah, it was really fun. You know, it was so fun actually to write because like obviously I've been like hammering the novel for the past year or longer, and to get
available
to write
all
something.
publishers.
Yeah. Available at Amazon. When you're hammering one project over and over again, it's so good to be able to mix it up with something else. And this was just like perfect because there's sort of because you can take it anywhere because that's the nature of the show. So I just love the having the freedom to be like, and also because it's set kind of like obviously it's not set in our universe, but it's not set in our universe. So all of like Indiana Jones, like all the references, you can just be like.
I enjoyed the Falcon Punch because I think we kind of established in the last episode that Ramon's a bit of a sort of pop culture nerd type thing. Anyway, he'd have that nerdy reference when talking about stuff like Star Wars and stuff, and getting deep diving on Star Wars. So as me and Luke know well. There's an obvious crossover there.
Yeah, exactly.
I really, really, really enjoyed reading it. I'm so thoroughly tired from the day generally, but this it was brilliant. Every single part of it was hilarious.
That was great, mate. It was very, very enjoyable. Thank you very much for that. That was brilliant.
Believe it or not, when we finish, I am going to go back and reread it because I love the debonair scene. I'm upset.
I'm kind of a lecturer, man.
He's such a sociopath. It's brilliant. He's so
I love the debonair so much. I'm so grateful that like as soon as I saw that it was like building up, I'm very grateful you got the extra time, Burge, because as soon as I saw fucking Burge writing debonair, I was like, I'm very happy now. And I really liked like the character traits of the characters. It's really interesting, you know, you make a character and then like other guys get a hold of those characters and they sort of add their own traits. I really like that Skimp and Arduous. Like Luke's portrayal of Arduous in my episode has like fed into the character of Arduous, and I really enjoy that because like he is very much a C-3PO now. Like ghosts can't exist. It defies logic and stuff, and I'm like, I love it. Honestly, that's brilliant. It's like the great thing about this is like characters just sort of like grow on their own volition somehow. It's brilliant. Thoroughly enjoy it. Thank you very much. That was great.
Yeah, well, thank you guys. Because like you read, it's all in the reading, really, isn't it? So it's kind of.
How much did you find you were writing for like our voices when you did it? You're like, I know this guy's done by Adam or whatever. You leaning on that at all? Or?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think well, as Iolo was saying, you know, it's kind of based on of the past performances.
Yeah.
Because it's all the existing characters.
I think that's what made it easy for me as well last time. Just like I can hear like Luke doing the voice while I'm typing it out or whatever. Yeah. It's kind of
absolutely.
You know where the performance is coming from before it's even on the page. So it's like It gives you a grounding for what you,
totally.
Even the dialogue, I guess, comes from that, doesn't it? It's like
I think the accents that the accents and the sort of demeanor that we portrayed through the characters makes writing them so much easier, because it's like, well, what would they say? Well, what if Skimp is so relaxed about everything? I know what he would say, and it almost falls onto the page, doesn't it? Really?
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's great.
Totally.
So
with that,
quick question. Sorry. We were meant to be filming last Wednesday. You expanded it to include the Debonair. So did it still end at the same point, or did you have a different end point at that point?
No,
Clearly you had the fox and the spider running through it.
Yeah. So I had in my notes, I had all the Debonair stuff, and that it would end with the fox and the spider fable coming to a close, and the Colonel being rightly fed up with, because it's not actually getting us anywhere closer to sorting the situation out.
Snappy snaps.
But I just hadn't written it yet. So if I didn't have time, like if we were going to do it on Wednesday, I think by Wednesday afternoon, I was like, I'll just cut out the Debonair stuff and end it back in the facility. But I can't remember when we decided we were going to move it. But as soon as we did, I was like, right, good. This will benefit, because I had like in my notes, I already had like a few parts of that Debonair sequence sort of like typed out just on my phone. Like the stuff with the muscle getting killed. I just thought it'd be so funny if like, because I really like the character, the Debonair anyway, and the portrayal. And then I just thought it'd be funny if he just had all of these different weird ways of killing people, like, you know, a gun that turns someone into a chicken, and then like he could just whisper like swear word in your ear, and that kills you, like, perishes.
Yeah.
You've left a lot of hooks open though, like Aaron getting killed. You've left that open because you said, what did you say? You said something to the effect of his story's not done yet. And Dr. L being this, what I'm getting the feeling as he's some kind of transcendental, you know, universal being, to some extent. Obviously, we've not explored that yet. He would know. He would have some inkling.
Yeah, I feel like as was the case, kind of in Luke's script and my script, and now into Burgess' script, is kind of that sense that Dr. L's completely relaxed with everything that's going on, whether he's seen it before or he's just a complete ease with how things are, whether it's part of his plot type thing. So.
Do you know what though? Isn't it scary? I feel the more he's in it and the more we hear his dialogue, the more scary almost.
Yeah, like he becomes sinister.
It's like, he's like so detached from.
It's just his cool German precision. That's what it is.
One thing that just dawned on me all of a sudden. Did we establish the General now has powers of whipping out guns out of his back?
Yes. That seems to be very much a throwaway in the first 4 lines, and then it's not mentioned again.
I know, it was brilliant. So yeah, I kind of agree with that too.
Yeah, I thought it'd be fun if like his power is that he can just like spawn a like a hand holding a gun, like just out of any part of his body.
I love that.
Can someone do like, his hand spawning 5 little tiny?
Because I like the idea that he's like this essentially, and then another gun just like comes out of like that way.
Cool hand.
Yeah. But you addressed open-ended stuff that we had as well, because you established in the Debonair section that they had already opened the prison and that it was empty, and that the guard that he actually sent to feudal Japan was like behind the prison break. So we established now that Clyde is actually somewhat of a badass anyway, regardless of all this samurai training that he now has had or something. It's great.
Yeah. Maybe. So like I wasn't sure. I tried to leave it open so that it was either that he was incompetent and left the cell door open, or that he's like he was just innocent and that it wasn't he wasn't anything to do with it and got pushed into feudal Japan and then was like, I'm gonna fucking kill that guy when I come back.
Mate, we have to have a montage of Clyde.
Was that essentially your an end point at one point, both with the "My name is Clyde and I need a word with your master"? Was that before you? Because that's just before the Debonair stuff. Was that kind of where you were last week, or because that seems like a cool end point? You could.
I know. That was the thing. I was kind of like, I I'd come up with that, and I thought, I mean, this would be sort of the perfect place to end it, but I really then I just really wanted to do the stuff with the debonair because it's so fun.
So I enjoyed that. It's got like an amazing encore at the end. It was just,
Thoroughly grateful that you did that. That was so funny to me. I love it. There's something about that type of character, that sort of like horrible arrogance, that makes me laugh so heartily. Like I love it in the debonair. I'm like, you cunt. Right. So the fun thing to talk about now though is that we've all done one, and we've discussed behind the scenes of it originally going back to the order that it was previously. But I think it would be slightly more fun if we were to randomize it. And I think we've all agreed that we're going to randomize it, unless someone has any issues with that.
No, that sounds good.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So the thing so let's get the spinner out. Woo!
Like honestly, I'm going to be primo a little bit disappointed if it's not me now, but let's do it. Let's do it.
I'm different. I'm the opposite. I am so hopeful that it's someone else. Just because, like, I
love just reading it. It's so good. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Good.
It's a tough act to follow, to be fair.
Oh, it is. That's what I was
a tough
thinking. I
act
was
to
like,
follow, yeah.
my God, like he took us to, he introduced Lizard Queen. We got a debonair scene. We've got female Japan. Like, and the photo shows. I don't know.
Also, the Lizard Queen. I thought like kind of that scene ended on a cliffhanger. I don't know, like that would be a really stupid character to come back, but it would also be hilarious if like the Queen's got a vengeance now.
I really like. I hope that at the end we have like a Sinister Six where we have like 6 bad guys who is like the Debonair, Lizard Queen, Dr. L ends up turning evil or something. We've got like 6 really bad characters that are all crazy voices of ourselves. So yeah, next week Luke or Adam, you need to get like a crazy villain voice. Right, yeah, so I can spin this whenever you like. I think the rules that we did establish is that, Burge, since you've been before, if it lands on your name, you can choose who you want to go next. The one thing I think we should probably establish as well is that it's 2 weeks away, as it always is. So from now on, it's a regular 2 weeks away. I believe it's going to be like 2 weeks away from Wednesday. So I think we'll stick to Wednesdays or Thursdays. I will discuss that behind the scenes anyway. But is there anyone who feels that they can't do it because of other commitments?
No, I'm good.
I mean, I'm fine. Luke?
No, I mean, if something comes up, I'll let you know soon enough. But at this point, no, I've not got anything. There's nothing pressing on.
Cool,
I kind of don't want to follow Berg.
I don't want to do that. It's like really like nerve-wracking. I think like obviously I'm talking too much now. I should just spin the thing. Like it's like anxious. Like we just want to spin this, but you know, like there's like kind of over the course of the 5 episodes, there's been like different ending types, different types of cliffhangers, and like certain ones are just like entering a room or something like that. And I was really kind of grateful for mine because I'm the one that I think got away with murder really, because Luke. At that point, we were establishing that I didn't want to interfere with Luke's one, so we set that up as episode 3. So I had an excuse to take it somewhere else where I barely touched the story. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I can't even fathom. I'm drawing a blank as to what that photo could be, like, straight away. So, but knowing my luck, it'll be me now. So let's spin it. Spin to win. Magic. Oh.
I mean,
I think at least he gets to follow the rules. So maybe I don't. If you Burge, you're welcome to choose, obviously, but you can choose to spin again if you want. I believe because like if you feel awkward choosing or something. But no, you go for it.
Or if you have an eagerness to write, then by all means, I suppose write.
Do it again, yeah. Episode 2, your own show. Like we'll just get Burge to write them all.
Again.
Again.
Spin again.
Spin it again. Go on.
That's where we find out the spinner is broken.
Yeah, and it's always Burge. It was Luke like 3 times in a row.
Hello!
I
think that's appropriate. It's been so long since we read Adam's script.
Yeah, it is. It has been a while. It kind of suits it. It's kind of perfect, realistically.
So much has changed. So much has changed.
It's nice if you get to sort of correct all the fuck ups that we made.
But
reset.
Really wants to be Dr. Alice. This is what I wanted to happen.
And then back to day 1. But like it's fairly interesting for Adam though, realistically, because Adam gave us all this, but he didn't necessarily have to follow up. So it might be an interesting sort of like dynamic for Adam now to have to follow-up
It's-
things as opposed to.
It's so like hilarious and ridiculous that this bizarre concept that I came up with, probably while having a poo, is now like such a thing. I think that we've spent so much time on as individuals. It's hilarious.
Yeah, and brought so much joy. I am going to. So I have been a bit lazy with the YouTube uploads. So that is my intention now, because obviously me and Adam had like other writing commitments and stuff. But now that I'm a bit more free, you'll start seeing them come up a bit more regularly. I'm going to try and get it to catch up so that next week the But Suddenly episode 4 is out. So then the week or maybe like next week, But Suddenly episode 5 is out. So I can start maybe posting them, so that I have a week in hand. So I'm going to start figuring it out anyway. But you'll start seeing them popping up anyway. But thank you for watching, I suppose.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks,
And
Burge,
Thank you
for
very
getting
much.
Thank you,
Burge,
Burge.
for writing.
Take care. Thanks,
Like
Virgie.
are we waving? Are we all kind of like cautiously waving?
Let's all wait.
It's at the end of a sitcom.
Bye.
You've been watching
Freeze frame.
But Suddenly on Something Media.
Ha